What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hold That Thought podcast, where we do the exact opposite. I am your host, LeBarbecue, and we have made it to 10 episodes. That is crazy. I appreciate all the support we've gotten so far. Got a good show for you today. A lot has happened since the last episode, man. As you can tell, a lot has happened. Last episode, I think, was last week. And yeah, we're going to jump into that in a second. But if you guys are here and you're liking the content, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow, all that stuff on YouTube if you're watching the video version. If you're watching the audio only version on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else you get your podcast, make sure you do whatever you can to support it. I appreciate you guys so much. All right, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about, man. A lot of stuff to talk about, and I'm ready to hop into it. Also, last thing for plugging, if you're watching on Apple, listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure you rate this 5 stars. It helps us move up the algorithm and get more listeners in. So I appreciate you guys and all that you guys do for me. Also, we got a new setup if you're watching the video version. I moved stuff around, bro. I tweeted about this. It took me like 3 hours to move all this stuff around. I got an L-shaped desk, and I wanted to I had to move. I didn't have an option. I had to move everything around, and this took so long to do, and I'm really happy with it. I'm really enjoying all this stuff, and I like that you can see my background a little bit closer and all that stuff that we have for you guys to look at and text me about, you know. But anyway, all right, so let's hop into the biggest bit of news. Obviously, if you guys live in America, even if you don't live in America, you know, every 4 years we have an election, and we had ours, and election day was last Tuesday. Was that the 3rd or the 2nd? I don't know. It was last Tuesday, and everybody was waiting for those results. The mail-in ballots were counted, and we have a new elected president, and that is President Joe Biden, and his vice president was also elected as Kamala Harris, so, or Kamala Khan, whichever you guys prefer. So I was happy with the results. That's gonna show you my hand of where I stand politically, and like I said on my first intro episode, I'm not scared to talk about politics on here. If you guys have any political questions or comments or topics you want to talk about, leave them down below. Every day before or the day of I make these episodes, I put out a tweet or I put it in my Discord. Also, shout out my Discord. Go follow that. It's in my links down below if you're watching the video version, or in the comments on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. So I forgot what I was about to say, but yeah, I'm not scared to talk about politics on here, and I do ask you guys every week if you guys have any questions or anything for me to talk about. If you don't, I'll just make up stuff and I put it in a show. So I thought that it'd be interesting to talk about and make some people hate me, because I don't care, bro. I think if you think Trump was a good president, then that's your political choice. I totally disagree with you. People have their arguments against Joe Biden and Kamala. They don't like them for their own reasons, but this election, just like 2016, I don't know, to me, I still feel like it was choosing between the best of two evils. It wasn't as bad as 2016, I'll say that, because I really didn't want to vote for Hillary Clinton, and I didn't want to vote for Trump either. So I think this election, we actually had a decent option. I guess if we had a decent option, it's better than Hillary. I'll tell you that. So there's a lot of backlash. We got the results Saturday, I believe. Yeah, we got the election results Saturday, and people expected chaos to ensue. I haven't heard any major stories about people have been out in the streets dancing, and then some people also protesting. The people protesting are a lot of Trump supporters, Trump voters who do not believe the media when it comes to who won the actual election. They say that these mail-in ballots, some of them are illegal, and they're dumping Trump's votes out, and Trump saw some votes floating in the river, and like, dude, they don't want to believe the media, and they don't like that the media called this race so early, like as early as it did. And I'm just like, okay, then what? Do y'all not believe it every other year? Like the year that Trump won, did y'all not believe it then? Why this sudden distrust of the media this year, and not like 2016 when we had evidence that Russia colluded, blah blah blah, that we had interference last election, but now this year everybody's so okay. these votes don't count. All these mail-in ballots are for Biden House, so blah blah blah. And I'm thinking the same thing that a lot of the media was saying. Like, Biden really pushed mail-in voting, and your candidate denounced mail-in voting. That's why you didn't get a lot of mail-in votes. That's like, I'm trying to think of a good example. I can't think of one right now, but if he said don't go out and mail in vote, and his supporters listen to everything that the president says, you think they're still going to go out and do it? Like, he says don't wear a mask, and a lot of his supporters don't wear masks just because Trump said it wasn't effective. So things like that. That's a good example. He said don't do that, and a lot of his supporters didn't do it. So that's why a lot of them catching COVID. That's why he got COVID. But anyway, so yeah, this barrage on the media, I feel like, is very invalid, because if there was any cause to be upset, it should have been when Trump won in 2016 and we had evidence that there was interference. But anyway, let's not get on that, because he was found innocent of that and he was not impeached for it, whatever. There's also a lot of people saying that the Democrats stole the vote, and I think that goes back to with the mail-in ballots. People didn't really want to count them as valid because they didn't arrive exactly on election day, and that's also not true, because a lot of them did arrive on election day and they just weren't able to count them. And a lot of the late states like Michigan, Pennsylvania, I don't know why North Carolina wasn't counted for so long. Like, they counted South Carolina. Hold on, that's also another point. They counted South Carolina immediately. Like, Trump won South Carolina fair and square. That's my state. That's why I'm talking about it. He won that state fair and square, but like, they called it like less than 50% in, and like, y'all can't be mad at them for calling blue states before they're completely counted. If y'all are counting red states before they're completely counted, like, y'all have to be fair with that, okay? Like, that's it. Congratulations to our new president-elect, if it holds, because Trump's going to go in his lawyer pockets and probably sue every state that he didn't win, that was contested. So these next few weeks are going to be very interesting. Until January 20th is going to be very interesting. And I just want to let you guys know, everybody that went out and voted, thank you, bro. Like, I'm glad y'all didn't just sit here and let things be the way they are and just gave up on our democracy and our political system. Like, you have that voice, and I'm glad a lot of people got up and used it this year. They said voter numbers are way up, way higher than they were in past elections. So we really showed up and showed out. So that's really awesome. I don't know where the scratch came from on my arm. Sorry. This podcast is amazing, bro. Rate it 5 stars. Anyway, yeah, these next few weeks are going to be very interesting in seeing what our current president is going to do to fight the election results and voter fraud, even though I don't believe there is much, because if you look at the statistics, I know this is a different year, but if you look at the statistics, voter fraud is so low. It's like so low, it's minuscule, that there's actually voter fraud in any kind of election of ours. So that people are holding on to that. These votes don't count, they're illegal, blah, blah, blah. And it's just ridiculous, man. And you know, it was funny when they were doing the counting and the president wasn't decided yet, there were in 2 different states, there were Trump supporters chanting, "Stop the vote, stop counting the votes." And in another state, there were people chanting, "Keep voting." Like, y'all are so confused. Y'all don't even know what to do right now. Like, it was crazy when it was going on, because they're saying, Trump was saying stop counting the votes. I'm guessing he was talking about the mail-in ones or whatever. But if they would stop, Biden was already winning. Like, if he'd have stopped, he'd have lost either way. So it was in his best interest that they keep counting the votes, but he was going to lose either way. So it didn't really matter. So, all right, that's it for the election. Shout out to y'all for getting out and voting. I hope you feel like you use your civic duty to the best of your ability. All right, so let's hop into quick bits. I don't have much for quick bits today. First off, I want to talk about Kiki Palmer, bro. If y'all know me, y'all knew this was going to be on my notes. If you guys were on any kind of social media, give me 1 second. If y'all were on any kind of social media, then y'all saw what Kiki Palmer tweeted on the 9th. And we're going to take a look at that here. Kiki Palmer, I have had my opinion about her. when the whole BLM thing came to pass. I had my opinion about her. I wasn't too happy with how she was handling it, and I'll talk about that in a second. So Kiki Palmer faces criticism over a tweet about food stamps only working on healthy items. And let me scroll down to her tweet. She said, imagine if your EBT card could only work on healthy items. Now, I get what she's trying to say. I get it. She's right. Like, she's not right. Okay, I misspoke when I just said that. She's not right, but I understand where she's coming from, and that some people will use those food stamps. Some people there's a lot of food stamp fraud, by the way. If you don't know that, a lot of people like cheat the system and use food stamps the other way, but I'm not saying that these people don't need it. I was going down her Twitter and she was fighting everybody like on this topic. She was like trying to backpedal and clear her name and all that stuff, but it's just like, dude, you know how many people need these food stamps? And think about how many people are on food stamps with multiple children, a whole household to feed, and they got blank dollars to spend on, I don't know, 6 kids in the house. Like, how are you going to go to Whole Foods and buy some damn kale and something other than the stuff that's more readily available to you? You know, like it was a badly worded tweet. She should have said, can we like have more funding for her? I think her real fight is against how cheap the food products are that are unhealthy. I think that's her real fight. It's not, I don't know if it's the people necessarily just buying what they can afford with those products. Like, I don't know. It was just such a shot in the dark. Sorry, I can't talk today. RIP. But it was such a shot in the dark for her to tweet this. Like, I don't know. It was just, why? But my past disgruntlement, if that's a word, with Kiki Palmer was when the Black Lives Matter movement was at its peak. Like this year, the protests and the riots were at its peak. And I don't know if she was on the Breakfast Club talking about it or whatever, but they showed a clip of her yelling at some military service members and asking them to take a knee with her, which that's fine, but when she was damn near demanding them to do it. And if this was the police, I'd be fine with it. Like, okay, they are the cause of this issue. Why are you coming to soldiers who are forced to be there, who have really no say and had nothing to do with this? They're just doing their job. They got orders to be where they were. They could be out there fighting a war or protecting you overseas or something, and they're here because our president told them to be here. Like, don't be mad at them for being called and placed somewhere. They don't want to be here. Trust me, they don't want to be here. And just for her to go out there, and if you haven't seen the video, go watch it. It really disturbed me. I was just like, dude, you know they aren't the cause of this problem, right? Anyway, like, Kiki Palmer, I don't know, she has some very bad takes on some things sometimes, and people are using the excuse that, oh, she's young and she doesn't know what she's talking about. Bro, Kiki Palmer's older than me. I'm pretty sure she's older than me, so that you can't really use that as an excuse. I mean, I say some dumb shit sometimes too, but I don't use my youth as an excuse. I use me being not knowledgeable about every topic, and I don't think she's knowledgeable enough about this topic to say that only healthy items should be used for EBT. Like that, if you were to do that, you would have to increase the amount on your EBT card by so much more, and we be paying even more out of our pockets. And that, don't get me wrong, like paying out of my pocket so people can eat and they don't have the funds, that's no problem to me. I'm definitely fine with it. But like, do we have the money for that right now? We still need a damn another stimulus package. I mean, some people don't need it because everybody's still out here buying this and that and whatever. So I don't know. That's my Kiki Palmer rant for today. I don't know. I didn't read all her replies. She may be backpedaled enough to cover herself, but I did not like that take. I just didn't like it. I feel like it wasn't well thought out, and it wasn't. And she was backpedaling all day. So, in other quick bit news, rest in peace to Alex Trebek, bro. I got his pop right here. I've had this pop for a long time. Like, oh man, I love Jeopardy, bro. I love Jeopardy, and I honestly kind of want them to end the show. I don't know if they're going to do it, but I kind of want them to end the show, and I'm looking forward to seeing his last episode. It's probably going to make me cry. No cap. It's probably going to make me cry. But he did pass away this past week, and it was very sad because he was battling cancer, and I'm pretty sure it might have been the cause of it. But he's hosted Jeopardy for decades, and it's just crazy to see like a legend gone like that, man. It's just rest in peace, man. He died at his home surrounded by loved ones, which is you don't want to die, but that's the way you probably want to go, surrounded by loved ones, and it's very sad, man. It's such a legendary host and a great man, and the world won't be the same. Like, he was such a iconic figure and such a great mind to have in front of us, teaching us on Jeopardy every week, every day on Jeopardy, man. That it is apparently reported that he worked 4 days before he died, before he passed away. This man worked to the grave, like to almost his last day. He was in front of a television, like entertaining us. Like, rest in peace, Alex Trebek, bro. Like, for real. He's, oh man, I can't. That was such a hard loss, man. 2020 is taking so many people from us, and death is a normal thing, so you can't. I hate when people blame it on years, but 2020 has really sucked ass. Like, it's really sucked. All right, moving on to non-sad news. Hopefully, let's hop into the gaming news. They're going by the same formula we go on every episode. So we got some new games that are free for November. These are the PlayStation games right here. For PlayStation, for PS5's already getting free games. Today is 11/11/2020 as I am recording this episode. So tomorrow is actually the launch of the PS5. So we'll be getting a lot of insight on what's going on with that. I should have waited to make this episode, but I was just like, I'll probably make another one next week anyway, and we'll see. We'll have a definitive opinion about the PS5. I don't know if I'll have one by then because I still don't have a pre-order. Anyway, free games for November for PS5. Bug Snacks, which is a game with bugs and snacks. So if you're excited about that, yay. We got also a Hollow Knight, which I think the Void Heart edition for PS5 and PS4, I think that was also free last month. I don't know why they got the same game 2 months in a row. And then for PS5 and PS4, we have Middle Earth Shadow of War. That is for both PS4 and PS5 as well. So some decent games, I guess, for PSN. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll probably actually try Bugsnax. If I get a PS5, I'll probably actually try it. I'll probably just do it to get used to the PS5 and have like a startup game. So next up, we got Xbox games that are free. They have 4 games. Origami Shadow Edition, available November 1st through November 30th. Swim Sanity, available November 16th through the 15th. Full Spectrum Warrior, available November 1st to the 15th. And Lego Indiana Jones. So still no games for the Xbox, man. It's sad that I keep reporting this every damn month, but there's still no games to play on the Xbox. And speaking of Xbox, it did release yesterday. I think the Series X and the Series S both released yesterday. People were very anxious to get their pre-orders. There were some issues on launch. I heard there's been rumors that the Xbox, I've seen videos that they've been smoking, but there's nothing confirmed that a lot of people are dealing with this. Maybe some people just got bad batches, which is why it's good to wait to get your next gen consoles. But I know some people are impatient. A lot of people were impatient this year, just with the low number of PS5s and Xboxes that were available this year. Everybody felt like they needed to get their hands on the first ones immediately. So I hope these rumors aren't true, because it really, either way, if I'm an Xbox fan or a PS5 fan, it sucks that somebody waited all this time and spent all this money to get something that's broken. And so there's been just videos circulating on Twitter and social media about how the Xbox Series X, the one that looks like a mini fridge, that one's how it's smoking and whatnot. So hopefully that's not the case, man. You really hate to have these tech products blow up the day you get them. But yeah, I'm hopefully, I don't want to say this because I don't want y'all to get them. Hopefully there are going to be some PS5 releases tomorrow. Apparently there are going to be some in store. You can't go to the store and get them, but there's going to be some online that you can order, I guess, and then go pick up from your location. But there's not going to be any in store that you can just grab and go check out with. So hopefully I can get one tomorrow. If not, then oh well, I tried. I'm fine. I have committed to the idea that I am not going to get one day one. I've committed to that idea, and I'm not getting my hopes up for getting one day one. But if I have the chance, if I have the option, my ass is going to go get one. So also in gaming news, the Assassin's Creed Valhalla released yesterday. I have heard nobody talking about this game, honestly. Like, it's so sad because the prospects for this game were so high. So many people were talking about how this could be the next big Assassin's Creed, and I haven't watched really anybody play it. My interest from this has like plummeted so far. It's because the pregame, I know I tell you guys not to listen to reviews as soon as a game comes out or anything, but the ones I've heard for this are just like, damn, like everybody's saying it's meh. So I don't know if I'm that interested in getting it anymore. And there's so many games coming out soon, so maybe I'll get it instead of Cyberpunk, because who knows when we'll ever get that game. Just, I don't know, like, if money's burning in your pocket and you need something to play on your next gen consoles, I guess that could be something you can play. Destiny 2 DLC released. I forgot the name of it, but I don't play Destiny 2. I just put it on the notes in case anybody played Destiny and was asleep, and they fell asleep and they didn't know DLC was coming out. I'll put that on the notes. I played Destiny for a little bit. It's a very grindy game, and I don't have too much time to grind that game as well as the other ones I'm grinding. So I put Destiny 2 on the back burner. I really don't even play it anymore. Last up in gaming news. Sorry, I'm fixing my nose ring because it turned the other way and I don't want it to fall out. Last in gaming news is GameStop, their trade-in value. Let me pull this article up. So, not article, it's a tweet actually. I don't know if this is verified, but I believe it is, because this sounds like some GameStop shit. So let's look at this. Pull up a tweet by whoever tweeted this. GameStop, he says GameStop ain't shit with the trading values. So he has taken pictures of, I guess this looks like the official GameStop website. So he took pictures of each of the next gen consoles, and he showed you guys what your trade-in value would be for these consoles. So for the Xbox Series S, which is valued at $300, I believe. Yeah, I believe it's valued at $300, brand new out of box. If you trade this console in, you get $175. This console just came out yesterday. Bro. Like, and they give you $175 in value in store credit, bro. So they're just gonna take $125 from you like that. Well, people still can't get this console, and y'all not willing to give them face value for it. That's crazy. That's crazy. And they're giving you $140 in cash. Maybe that has something to do with the issues that they're having. They're like, oh, if somebody trades this in, there must be something wrong with it. But I mean, they usually check them in stores. So them giving you that price point is fucking ridiculous, bro. That's so ridiculous. So for the Series X, which is the higher end console, and I think that one's what, $499? That's $499, right? I believe. I don't know. I'm not buying an Xbox. So the store credit is $300 for that one, and the cash value is $240. And wait, this is the best part. The Sony PlayStation 5 that to this date still hasn't come out. If you somehow have one right now, and it's, I don't know, I guess it could be brand new, and you bring it to GameStop, they're giving you $200 for it. There's people on eBay right now selling this thing for $1,000, and GameStop wants to give you $200 for your PlayStation 5. This looks like the digital version, so they're taking $100 off of that one too. So the disc version, I don't know how much. He didn't take a picture of that one, so I don't know how much they're giving you for the disc version. So yeah, that's very interesting, and that's why GameStop is failing and they're crashing and burning, bro. You hate to see it, bro. Like, I understand. I'd be more okay with this if they were to take it down $50, but $100 off of the price of a game that's not even out, of a console that's not even out yet. That is ridiculous, and that's why y'all are going out of business. Like, RIP GameStop, man. That's very tough. That's very tough. All right, so that's all the gaming news I have. Really was kind of a slow week for gaming. We got some DLCs and a lot of reveals, but you can go look those up yourself. They're just showing games that already exist on the next gen consoles, so I didn't feel like it was very necessary to put on my show notes. All right, so media, what I'm watching in my life. I started watching Grand Army, which I've been telling some people to watch because I just think it's a ridiculous show. But it's so ridiculous that I can't stop watching it. I feel like I have to finish it because I need to talk about it with people. So I think excuse me, that was gross. I'm sorry. I think I'm more than halfway through with Grand Army, and this show is about several teenagers that go to Grand Army High School. I don't know if this is a real high school. It's a high school that's placed in New York. Like I said, I don't know if it's real. And they follow the stories of these teenagers going through teenage shit. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't give a fuck about any of their problems. Like they make most of these characters so unlikable. I don't care about any of their problems. And if you've watched this show, y'all know who I'm about to talk about. Like, this little Asian girl in this show is so conceited and self-conscious. Like, not self-conscious, she's just conceited. She's a narcissist. She only cares about herself, and I don't know if this show wants me to feel bad for her, but I completely don't. I don't know if there is a main character, but I think it kind of centrally revolves around this. I don't remember any of the character names because this show does a bad job at putting dialogue across, and they rely too heavily on text messages to move the story forward. It's very annoying because sometimes I'm not looking at the screen and I miss something that's completely important to the story, and I hate when shows do that. I wish Netflix would stop doing that with so many of their shows. I don't want to read 90% of my stuff. That's why I don't watch subbed anime mostly. It's just like I want to watch and enjoy what I'm seeing. But other than that, I think some of the acting is really good. That Asian girl that's on the show, her acting is really good. I hate her. Like, it's really good. Like, I think I'm supposed to hate her, so I really hate her. So it's a decent show if you have nothing to watch. But honestly, dude, I don't care about their problems at all. Maybe if I was younger and in high school, I'd care a little bit more because maybe I'll be going through some of the same things. But oh my god, these characters are so annoying. They just keep making decisions that fuck up their life so much. It's over again and again and again. They just keep making bad choices, and they're surprised when they have to face a consequence for it. So I'm not done with it yet, but that's just my quick overview of Grand Army. It's an interesting show, but this is a bottom tier for Netflix. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it's bottom tier for Netflix. If this is a one and done season, I'd be fine with it. Some of y'all gonna be mad at me about this because I think a lot of people actually like the show, but I can do without it. It's decent. I'll give it a solid, right now without finishing, I'll give it a solid C-. How about that? So also I've been watching This Is Us. This is kind of like it's kind of like a tradition to me watch This Is Us now. Like, I watch it every fall, and I cry all the time internally. Because men don't cry. I cry internally, and it makes me sad every time I watch it because they bring some sad topic on. I will say this: episode 1 was a big miss for me. It was very long. I think it was like 2 episodes combined in one, and they tackled like the COVID crisis right now. They tackled that, and I was just like, this doesn't make sense with the story, because they pick up this season. I don't know what season this is. They've done so many now. They picked up this season immediately where the last season left off, and there was no talk about COVID at all. And it didn't make sense because all of a sudden everybody was wearing masks. Everybody was talking about how they should be social distancing and whatnot. I was like, we weren't here. I understand that y'all want to tackle this issue, but we weren't here. How about do a time jump or something? It didn't make any sense. But anyway, I still love the show. That was just a nitpick of mine. I felt like they just wanted to be current and involved with the times now, but it really didn't mesh with the show. They should have did it some kind of time skip with it. But yeah. Also, I started watching Dragon Ball Super. Sorry, I can't talk. I started watching Dragon Ball Super because I found out it was on Hulu, and I've never seen it before, and I understand why some people hate this. Like, it starts off so slow. I'm sorry I'm being negative with my media, but I just must be watching some stuff I hate. But Dragon Ball Z Super is just so I don't know. I'd be fine if we never got this and just rewatch the original saga. But jeez, man, it just seems so kid friendly now. Like, I don't know. I feel like it used to be more serious. Like, the stakes used to be higher. So right now I'm on like episode 2. This is not really a spoiler because this stuff has been out for years now. And so it's just like the villain is the current villain. He's not a villain because we know what happens. And he comes to find Goku because he had a dream about Goku and whatnot. And I was just like, bro, this is the best y'all could write. Y'all had so much time between GT and Super to come up with a better story, and it's just like, dude, damn, this is ass. But anyway, I just want to watch it. I'm still watching it now. Hopefully it gets better. I heard it gets better eventually, but right now it's looking really bad for me. I also attempted to rewatch Naruto. If y'all don't know, I'm a big anime fan. I attempted to rewatch Naruto, but I gave up immediately. I made it through 2 episodes and I gave up. I was just like, dude, I don't have the time to commit to this again. I don't. I'd rather watch something I've never seen. I've seen Naruto several times and I didn't have the time to commit to that again. But that's all I've been watching in media. I haven't been really listening to any new music, so I don't have any music news for you. Or movies, actually. I need to watch some movies. Anyway, on to the life segment. So I've just been grinding out, making a lot of content. I have a new YouTube video besides this one, besides Hold That Thought. I know I've been very HTT heavy recently, so I made another video of a tier list for my top Marvel movies from best to worst, so go check that out. Just balancing life, man. It's been stressing, it's been stressful, but I've been trying to balance my life with things I enjoy and trying just to be a better person, a better husband, son, brother, uncle, all that jazz, because you are all those things to some people, so you need to put the effort in to be better, you know. So I'm just trying to put the effort in to be better to other people in my life, because I think that's important, because you never know how long you got here, bro. If you have any beef with anybody or you have unsolved traumas in your life, bro, you need to fix it and work on it, because you don't want to leave all that behind. And yeah, so that's all that's been going on in my life. Just stress regular adult stuff. But anyway, I'm good, but it's just, I don't know, sometimes you need to take a break, and I have been doing that with streaming mostly. I haven't been streaming as much as I usually used to, but yeah. Now for the topic of the day, which is kind of relates to a lot of stuff that we've been talking about today. It's self-esteem. I think this is an important topic. I don't know when I thought of this, but I just knew that this was going to be the topic for the day. I just knew, something just told me, it's like, you're going to talk about self-esteem, and I was like, okay, me. So self-esteem is something that most of us struggle with, man. I know I did. Like, for me personally, my self-esteem low was in high school, but I had very low self-esteem, and I don't know, it didn't lead me to make bad choices, but it led me to miss out on some opportunities in my life just because my self-esteem was low. And that I think that was just part of the times with me being young. I was just like, I'm not the most attractive person in the world, and I was like, especially back then, I think I'm the shit now, but I'm just joking, but back then, dude, I was like so overweight, and I was just like, I thought I was like the ugliest person ever. Like, I had really low self-esteem. Like, when a girl would talk to me, I was genuinely surprised. I was like, what do you want from me? Like, do I owe you some money or something? Like, what do you want from me? And that was just all me in my mind. Like, I don't know. It was just something I had to get through mentally, and I feel like I did that when I left high school. I don't really have any stories about my self-esteem. I was just like, because I stayed away from stuff. I didn't really mess with people. I don't know. I think the first event where I started like to build my self-esteem was asking a girl out in high school, because I wanted her to go to prom with me, and I asked her to prom, and I think that was like such a confidence booster and like got me out of my very, very low self-esteem. So when I left high school and I feel like I talk about college every episode, but when I went to college, I felt like that was like really when I stepped out of my low self-esteem, because I just gained a lot of confidence. I was everywhere. I felt like I was important on campus because I went to a smaller school where everybody knew everybody, and I was involved in so many things. I was the vice president of the student government at my college. I was mentor to the new students that were coming in. I was friends with RAs, even though they be snitching sometimes. I was involved in so much. I was in track for a little bit, then I quit because our coach got fired. That was a long story, but I was involved in so much, dude. I had work studies going on. I was in the Fellowship of Christian Athletes at that time, even though I wasn't an athlete anymore after I quit track. So I was involved in so many things, and I felt like getting myself out there and doing that much stuff like really took me out of my shell. I feel like without that experience, I might not be here making these videos today. I wouldn't have ever started streaming if I never built my confidence up in college, bro. Like, that was such a good experience for me, and I know other people have different ways of branching out of that, but that was mine, and it was really helpful to my life. I don't know where I'd be without it. I feel like, though, in high school, I was thinking too much of what other people thought of me. And I think it is kind of important to somewhat think of what other people think about you, because if you don't, what are you doing? Like, what I know you're doing things for yourself, but like, what does it mean if people can't appreciate what you're doing and think that you are actually made a change in the world? Because if you want to do something and change people's lives, they got to think something of you. If you don't care what they think, then what are you doing it for? Yeah. So I feel like we all need to find something to get us out of that hole. If you are in a hole right now, I don't know what to tell you, because I don't know your spot in life, but just get out there, be safe with it though. Get out there, be safe, and be genuine. You know, when you come in contact with other people, be genuine about how you feel about them. Don't just fucking cuss them out because you don't like their face, but just be yourself when it comes to making genuine human connections. And I know with COVID, it's very hard, and it's hard to get out there and meet people or have a verbal conversation anymore, because I feel like even without COVID, we were going so far away from just talking to one another, and it was just, I don't know, maybe when we get out of this, things will kind of go back to normal and we can actually talk to each other again. But I don't know. But I used to say that fuck other people and what they think, but recently I've changed my mind on that. Like, I really do feel like it matters somewhat, but I don't think it should control your life, you know? I think that's a good way of saying it. It doesn't control your life, but you should consider, am I coming off like an asshole to this person? Like, is what I'm doing like ruining their life? You know, I think it's important to care for others, you know? So when you're genuine to people can sometimes sense it. And when you're not, they can also tell that too. Because sometimes I've tried to make relationships in the past, and I just did it because, I don't know, I was just trying to be, I wasn't trying to be an asshole. I was just trying to, I don't know, network or something. And it probably didn't come across in the best way. This is when I was in high school. Especially in college, I learned that a lot of things are about who you know and not like what you know? Because like I said, I think in the last episode, I got a lot of my jobs just because I knew people, and networking with other people is a good way to get in, to open doors for other opportunities. Jesus, I can't talk, bro. I'm sorry. I've just been like not sleeping the best recently as well too. So I don't know. Self-esteem is very important. It's very important to boost it, but not boost it too high to the point that you become that little Asian girl from Grand Army, because she was conceited. You couldn't tell her shit, bro. Like, she would not listen to, in the show, she does not listen to any of her friends. She doesn't take any of their advice. She does exactly what she wants to do, and if you don't like what you think, then she's gonna make everything about herself. And you cannot be like that. You cannot be like that. You have to, at some point, listen to other people's problems. And it's funny in the show because one of the other characters saw her like crying in the hallway, and they stopped and they tried to help her, and then she just automatically went on a rant about herself, and she stayed in that same loop of just making everything about herself 24/7. And you have to think about somebody other than yourself every once in a while, you know, because at that point, what are you even doing? Like, you won't have any type of genuine positive human reaction if everything in your life revolves around you. Like, what about your family? What about friends that would do anything for you? Do you even care about them? Things like that. Like, you have to take into account other people's feelings and emotions. If you don't want to do that, then just fine, be an asshole for the rest of your life. But I feel like it's best to try, while you have this little time on this earth, just try to make some genuine connections with people. And I don't know, maybe that make you feel better about yourself too, because I do enjoy talking to people when I feel like we can have some kind of decent, meaningful conversation. And I think we can all grow from that. You can grow your morality and positivity in yourself and grow your self-esteem that way. And I don't know, it's something that I think we all need to do, and we're losing sight of that, especially with COVID, man. I think people go into the depression because, I don't know, I'm not saying this is why everybody goes into depression, but with COVID, not talking to people is something that we as humans don't like. We're designed to make human connections and talk to each other. That's why people in solitary confinement go so fucking crazy all the time. They don't have anybody to talk to. So if you've still been quarantining and you still haven't been going out or talking to anybody, and you see yourself kind of like falling off the wagon, go try to do something, man. Get out of the house, be safe about it, wear your mask, do something about it, because that depression might come from low self-esteem, because some people are used to that gratification like all the time. They're used to somebody complimenting them, somebody hitting on them, or I don't know, something like that. So go do something, man. Go do something. Get outside, be active, and better someone's life, even if it's not yours. You can do something to help somebody today. So I know I sound like a freaking preacher right now, but I appreciate you guys coming through the episode. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, rate it 5 stars, all that stuff. Share. Also, I don't promote this a lot, but also join the Discord. You have a good community of gamers and other people who just are chilling in my Discord, waiting for a conversation or waiting for a game. If you need to find somebody to play with, my Discord is full of people who are always playing things. So make sure you do that. Hit me up on Twitch at Mailin Barbecue, IM_LABBQ. I appreciate everybody making it to episode number 10. We are finally in the double digits. Let's go. So if you made it here, you are a GOAT, and I hope you learned something here on today's episode of the Hold That Thought podcast. I am your host, Barbecue, and I'll see you guys on episode number 11. Goodbye. Yes sir, did you like that video? Me too, because I made it. I know it's good. If you did like that video, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new here, subscribe. Make sure you have that bell turned on for notifications for when I make a new video. Also, you can catch me on any of the socials down below. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all those. I'm on there. That's it. See you guys later.